I haven't seen a lot of videos on these Dolphin Nautilus CC Plus. So I figure I'd upload mine. It just came, getting ready to open it up and, kind of let people see what they look like and maybe help them make a decision. Okay, we have our user guide. Massively long hose. I guess that may mean 18 meters, which is roughly, I guess, 50 feet. Let me put this on the counter. And the two flotation devices. And we'll get it all out. Okay, so there were only a couple pieces in there. We pulled the hose out along with the manual. Over in the right hand corner was the charger, and then here's this. It's a fairly big size. Looking at it on Amazon and everything, I don't think the size does it justice. I have an average size hand, and that's just something for scale. So I'm gonna read the manual, see what it says about charging, putting it in, and kind of do an update from there. Just figure I'd show what comes in the booklet as it comes. Welcome, registration, which I'll absolutely do for warranty stuff. A friend of mine really got me to do this. He loves his, and he has just taken his. After almost 2 years, it went pooped on him, and he's using his warranty information. So far he hasn't said he's had any issue from him. Apparently it's gone fairly smooth. I guess these are all the guides in different languages. I do good enough to speak English, so we'll go from there. Guess I need to read that before proceeding. And I believe, yep, that's the entirety of these contents. This is what we were reading earlier that said, please read before proceeding. And that's basically to take these little plastic, clear plastic around these foam rings, which is right here and right here, which it appears to be very thin. So I'm going to kind of tear it off gingerly with both hands, but I just kind of wanted to show you where those were just in case you had any questions about where they were at. I found it easier to lift it up and remove them that way because it is actually on both sides, and I just kind of tore it with 2 fingers, or 2 hands rather. I'll try to do it with one, but yeah, I'm gonna, instead of tugging, I'm gonna use both hands again. Now I will say so far, the one thing that I have not liked is that there are no instructions whatsoever on filter removal or anything like that, where to access it. So, just kind of looking around. I mean, I figured it out, and while it's not super difficult to figure out, you still would think there would be some sort, get my hand out of the way, there would be some sort of kind of, directions of how to remove it, how to take the screens off, clean them, like I said. I'm sure it's all self-explanatory. It looks very easy, but there still should probably be some sort of instructions. As well as plugging this up, the timers. I'm going to assume that, these are you probably can't see that, but that says 1, 2, and 3, which I'm assuming maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. It may be different days. Hell, I don't know. That's probably my only complaint so far is there's no instruction booklet. If there was one supposed to be in here, it didn't come with mine. I think I'm going to plug this up into this outlet in the kitchen and just see how it works. All right, now let's plug it up. It is plugged up. We will hit the power button. Okay. Nothing on the display. Hitting the select button isn't doing anything. Huh. Yeah, I'm not, I gotta be honest. I don't even know. Hell, maybe I shouldn't have plugged it up. There's no booklet telling me not to do that either. Again, there's nothing here. We got the power off. I'm going to do a little research and see what I can find out. Okay, I stand corrected. There was a guide in here. I just assumed it was another frequently asked question type safety guide because all the instructions on the front were not in English, but that is what I get for assuming. And, well, that's not in English. Maybe it's in the center of the book. So, yeah, here we go. I would have put this on the outside, but hey, who am I? That way it would not have thrown me off. But that's my fault. I just sat down and looked through all this, and now we'll go through the quick start guide, and I'll kind of familiarize myself with it and cover the high points of what we should and should not do. So here's what the 1, 2, and 3 are. Automatically every day for 7 days a week. LED 2, it'll do every other day, 3 times a week. And LED 3, it'll work every 3 days or 2 times a week. You know, sometimes people wonder what this kind of stuff is because they want to know how often it'll clean, and maybe they don't want to buy it, you know, to learn that stuff. But, you know, I've tried to keep it on here for a few minutes so you can pause it or read it or wherever you want to. I am a little concerned about how I'm going to position this power supply 12 feet away. You know, I'm not sure how everybody else's pool, but my filter and stuff and where my plug is for my system is, it's not much more than 12 feet, but it's gonna be unique, that's for sure. Especially if it ain't supposed to be in direct sunlight, which I don't even know how that's possible, but we'll figure it out. So I'm gonna kind of walk around my pool before I plug it up. You know, as you can see, my pool is not overly dirty. If you would even consider it dirty, I know the filter's going, but kind of show you how I am going to set mine up, and you'll see where I'm talking. It's kind of going to be a little tricky, but I guess, you know, this is 18 by 36 pool, considered an Oasis style, you know. Obviously I'm going to start them right here in the shallow end, go down there with 50 feet of cord. You know, there's where my system is, and you know, it's definitely 12 feet away from the water, because this is like a 6-foot deck right here. So that's probably another 6 foot right there. So it's definitely at least 12 feet away. But that's also all the cord I got. So needless to say, I won't be letting it sit out here overnight and run. I'll just pick it up. You know, it's 4 o'clock in the evening our time. So we got about another 4.5 hours of daylight left. So I'll probably let it run till dark. But I'll plug it up and let you see it go. I'm going to lay it flat on its back. So you unscrew right there. It's got 2 little prongs, female male connector. It's also got a little notch you got to line up. You just poke it right in there, you twist that tight, and it's good to go. So I'm getting ready to I guess cut the power on, and I'm gonna do setting 1. Not that it matters. Well, probably should have put it in the damn pool before I done that, but hey, whatever. All right, so I'm dropping them down in there. Yeah, and I got a little paranoid first, so I'm gonna bring the excess cord up here so it'll uncoil. I'm gonna put it right here at the base of the steps, and yeah, we're just gonna feed him some in there and let him go. You know, see what's what. And there he goes. I don't know if you could see him or not, but away he goes. We'll also kind of get a good idea of how long, I'm gonna turn the phone this way, of how long the cord is. You know, I'm gonna make sure it doesn't run out. There's no need making it work for that slack. So he is just now probably a little over halfway to the deep end. Still a decent amount of cord left. So to be honest, if I can get that and set it on top of there without it tugging it, I may end up doing that, but we're just gonna wait and see. I won't down here. I just wanted to make sure the line didn't get clogged up, you know. I have a bad habit of watching it instead of watching my camera. As we can see, I am not a professional videographer. Matter of fact, I think I've done one video on my grass one time on my Bermuda, and it's done well. It's been a few years ago, but I scalped it here a couple days ago, so I'm not going to show a picture of it. But there he goes up the side. Oops, he's climbing the side. I don't know that I like the fact that it's, you know, going across the, I guess the one thing is a lot of pools have a plastic cantilever, which is the little lip right there. This is all concrete. So obviously I wouldn't. Let's zoom that bad boy out. So I will probably pick it back up once he goes down to the deep end. I live in central Georgia, and it's got to be 90-something degrees out here. It's hot as heck. I want to get in it, but I'm not going to do that right now because it says not to get in there with it. Probably wouldn't hurt nothing, but no need in doing it. So I'll pick back up in a minute. So it took him about, I don't know, less than 5 minutes to get to the deep end. And you'll hear how he's kind of, he's got a pretty good clip going around there. I do want to see how he acts going over the skimmer, because when he went over the jet a while ago, I noticed that some people had complained on some other models that, you know, they wouldn't go over, they'd get stuck, but, you know, no, and that's as far as probably it'll go, and this is going to be the cord that is left right here. Still a decent spool. That's done blown in the pool. I guess I need to get that up. I'll get that on my dip net. So I think I am going to go ahead and move this, you know, to kind of give you an idea of how far I am. Let's see. And I give myself a little slack. I personally think this is going to be fine up here, you know, sitting on top of here. I mean, it's probably 15 feet away maybe. So from there to there. So, and that's at its furthest point. So again, you shouldn't have any problem. You know, a 20 by 40, that's only 4 extra feet. That's definitely more than, you know, from there to there, there's not an extra 4 foot of cable. There may be an extra 8 or 10 inches, but if you moved it closer to the edge of the pool, you'd probably be well within it. So I'm gonna go grab my dip. Actually, I'm just gonna bend down and grab this. This is right at the side. My deep end is probably like everybody else's, the, I guess, like a better term, dirtiest end. I'll try to zoom in. You know, there's a little debris down there, not much. You might can see it around there. When I do the filters, I'll do a video of the filters being cleaned, you know, to see what it does. I'm gonna let it run, you know, hopefully good, at least 4 hours before I touch it again. You know, this is where it's at on the steps. It looks like it's probably going to get up at least on a couple. Wondering how it's going to do with this tangle. Now I can see where this tangle could be a possible issue. Maybe not. We're going to see. Right now he's just sitting on the steps. I guess he just kicked it in overdrive. But so it's definitely disturbing if there's any sediment on the steps, which there isn't right now. I have a bench also. I'm curious if it's going to get on that. I was wondering if it was going to need any assistance, but it's getting up on its side now. I think it's just going to tilt back over. And yeah, so I'm sure it'll take off here in a minute. I would like to see them incorporate, like some other models have the hook you put on your telescopic pole. I think that'd be a good thing. I mean, I know they say the flotations, but you know, do you really want to be grabbing and pulling on stuff that has an electrical connection? You know, that's probably not the best thing, but you know, I got a feeling he's gonna get off these steps in a minute, so I'm not overly concerned about that. If I have to remove him, I will obviously let that be known, because he looks like, I thought he was going to get off, but he's just, I don't know. He's at least went down a step, I'll say that. So, no worries though. And one final thing that I wanted to include. So, it came all the way, the deepest part obviously is going to be underwater, coming up the slope of the back end, which it did take, I think there were 2 coils down there. It did pull one of the coils out, but it's still coiled up down there on the end. You zooming in on the house, don't pay attention, it's being pressure washed Monday. So yeah, if there's any other questions, you know, again, the pool, just trying to give it 18 by 36, deep end is 8.5 foot, shallow end is 4 foot. It did clean, it didn't get on the ledge, but it did go across the wall right here where the little bench is. And obviously you've seen it on there on the steps. So it's down here in the deep end right now. Which, like I said, that is the furthest point, you know, that I assume it's going to go. And there's still the 1 coil down there. So, if there's anything I've forgotten, you know, just let me know. Like I said, it's the first time I've ever done this. Just trying to help somebody make an informed decision, because these things ain't cheap, but so far so good. Okay, as promised, I'm going to pull the filters. I did learn that these only run 2 hours at a time. So here's the first filter. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, hold this, honey. Here's the second filter. Ooh, wow. I'm gonna go open them up by the water hose and we'll clean them out. Be back in a flash. Okay, we're opening the first one. Holy crap. I would have never imagined that this was at the bottom of my pool. Golly, that's insane. Now we're opening the second one. Moment of truth. Wow, guys, this is, oh, there's some hair bows. I know who those belong to, but it picked them up. This is just, it's just remarkable. This is well worth the money that it was spent on this. God, highly recommend.